While those penalties are there to stop littering, there are new ones to help save lives during the pandemic. But critics say some are just way over the top, like those issued to Jazz and Gary for thousands of dollars after the couple posted old holiday snaps on Facebook.
I'm appalled at it, really.
Sometimes the police seem to be exercising their powers in an inconsistent or arbitrary way.
A fine for a holiday far more costly than the getaway itself.
I reckon they are a bit revenue raising, to say the least.
Victorian woman Jazz Mott and husband Gary spent a few days away at Lake's entrance almost a year ago, and when they recently put up the snaps on Facebook, they never expected this.
2 days later, I had the Traralgon Police rock up here and hand fines to me and my husband.
Jazz and Gary were slapped with individual infringements totalling more than $3,000.
I was a bit shocked. She didn't even say anything. She just handed me the fines and walked off. And I was very frustrated that they didn't even give me a chance to explain.
We're human. We're not going to get everything right all the time, and we will make mistakes.
The fine was withdrawn when police realised the mix-up.
He advised me if I post any more photos up on Facebook, I'll be judged. I'm not taking them down because it's my Facebook. I should be allowed to post the photos I want.
We are not actively scanning social media to see if people are breaking the rules. What we're about responding to what the public is alerting us to, those blatant, those deliberate, those obvious breaches, and responding to those.
Where are you off to today?
This isn't the first fine dished out that's raised eyebrows.
You think everyone's going to stay home this Easter and do nothing? Come on.
These officers made headlines for stinging a man at a car wash.
So what's your reason for being out at 1:15 in the morning washing your car?
Because I work in essential services. Yeah. I'm working 12 to 14 hour days and I don't get a time to wash them.
That fine's since been waived as well, as have two others we reported on a week ago, including the infringement given to an L-plater who was out on a driving lesson with her mum. In a leaked internal memo to officers, one of the state's top cops warned that a lack of consistency and discretion in enforcing lockdown laws was eroding public confidence in Victoria Police. He warned members only to issue fines for the most blatant breaches. This afternoon, Victoria Police Deputy Commissioner Shane Patton addressed the media.
I will review every one of those personally to ensure that A, they've been appropriately issued, and B, that there's common sense being applied.
There's a worry that at the moment people's rights are being affected in a way that isn't proportionate, that isn't justified.
Barrister Michael Stanton is from Liberty Victoria.
The problem is that there are inconsistencies and ambiguities in the rules, and so it does seem strange that someone can go to a JB Hi-Fi or a Bunnings and engage in shopping and potentially engage in interpersonal contact.
Mr Stanton says he's worried about police overreach, including at funerals. AAP journalist Benita Kolovos recently wrote of her heartbreak and anguish at farewelling her beloved grandfather. 10 of us separated into individual pews, 2 uniformed police officers watching our every move. Neither bowed their head as the boys carried my papu's coffin out of the church.
It's also important that any restriction on human rights is kept to the minimum level possible, and that these are lifted as soon as it's safe to do so.
Across the country, police are raking in millions of dollars in fines, and most of them receiving them clearly are breaking the law.
Yep, that's it. But as we know, these are new rules, and there's a lot of understandable confusion about what is the meaning of an essential activity. So if somebody is going outside and they're genuinely mistaken about what they're doing, then what police need to be doing is explaining the rules to people and at the very most giving them a warning.
Lawyer Adam Cockaine is founder of Fine Defender and says there are ways of having your infringement reviewed if you feel it's unfair.
So if you've received a fine for breaching social distancing rules and you think it's unfair, then you can appeal to the relevant authority, and if you've got a reasonable explanation, the legislation says the fine must be withdrawn.
We don't want to be caught up in this, in having to issue infringements to people. We want people just to be compliant and do the right thing. and stop the spread of this virus.
I understand if you're breaking the social distancing laws, I completely understand that. But they've got to give people a chance to explain, not just handing fines.